Frenzy in the Forest, a short story by Paul McCann. Silver and gold light splashed a colourless sky that hung itself over Blue Hills Forest. Tiny stars clung to the dark canopy of night. Mother Nature, dressed by a glittering sky, and there deep in the heart of the forest, nocturnal creatures were coming out from their dens and holes. Foxes, wolves, wild dogs and cats roamed in packs while the bats and the flying foxes aerobatically flew through air, landing on the trunks and trees that stood in thick rows around the forest. Bears, badgers, rabbits and other creatures of the night began to claim their own territory. The wise, vacant spots were taken up by the owls, who raised their wings to salute the wonder of it all. Grizzly bears scratched their marks on the tree trunks, and feral cats walked the high wire above the forest floor. Suddenly blinded by bright lights, every creature froze in fear as the trespassers began to open fire. In their mad killing frenzy, some of the men shouted, "Stop! Stop! Hold your fire! We need to have some more beer, boys. Come on, throw a few more of those tinnies." All of a sudden, the smoke cleared, and all around the forest, eyes were glowing. There was a howling from the wolf. There were faint whimpers and cries that echoed across the forest floor. A party of 6 men in a 4-wheel drive sat, drinking beer and reloading their semi-automatic weapons. They swallowed down another beer and turned on the spotlights on the roof of their vehicle. One by one, they started to pick off the bats and badgers in short bursts of gunfire. Squeals of high-pitched shrieks echoed all through the forest. Again, one of the men called out, "Stop! Hold your fire! Let's all have another beer! Set off on foot, boys!" From inside a box, a half-dozen beers were handed out. They were drunk rapidly. One of the party then said, "Sure is a great night, my friend. It's a pity some of the wimps in the village have to miss out." "What's wrong with those gutless freaks anyway, Fred?" asked the guy with the bald head. "If you want my opinion, Marty, they've been sitting in front of their TV too much. They don't know what real fun's all about." "Yeah," they all screamed in reply. "Right, boys, let's get ourselves a few kills." They all grabbed a flashlight and a rifle and headed off in single file down through the track in the forest. Still, from all around the corners of the forest, eyes were watching and glowing. The dance of the moonlight was shimmering as owls started hooting aloud. Fred shone his torch up the tree and said, "Could we please have a little less noise?" He fired off 3 rounds, even though the first shot had already hit the owl. The other members of the group joined in the shooting of their rifles into the branches of trees. "Quiet, please!" A deep and troubled voice interrupted their laughter. What's so funny?" The 6 men with a dulled expression looked at each other. A strange smell wafted up from underneath the ground. Then out it came. The creature had the jaws of a lion and the tusk of an elephant. Its skin was scaly like a crocodile, and it had claws on its feet like an eagle. Apart from these features, the creature had the body of a human being. It stood there before the group of men, who began to fire round after round into the creature's body. The creature started laughing and grabbed one of the men by the throat.
I'll tell you what I think is so funny about men. Over the years, some of you came into my home and cut down my trees. Some have come to abuse my home and throw rubbish everywhere. But you have come to kill. And the joke is now on you, because now it is you who are going to die.
Glowing eyes from all around the forest closed in, and in seconds every wild creature of the forest took their revenge. Animals and insects alike went on a feeding frenzy. The soft sunlight fell upon the Blue Hills forest as the sweet song of the birds echoed out the chorus of life. In the sky, early in the morning, a helicopter hovered above the forest. On the ground, tow trucks and police cars were inspecting the four-wheel drive and the 6 weapons that had been abandoned. A search was underway in an attempt to find the remains of the bodies. A strange smell clung to the air, and from every corner of the forest, many eyes were closely watching. The end.